they're doing well in that sector.
That is the thing. I didn't say they've shifted the goalposts. I just say the reality. That what Dismas is saying makes a lot of sense. There's no quick fix. It will take time, which is the reality that we have today. It will take time. They have to communicate that it will take time. But they also have to deal with the fact that just over 3 months ago, they told us they will fix in 30 days. They told us they will fix immediately. So the reconciliation of that is a function of what Kenyans are doing with that information. That Kenyans will be like, yeah, we know they were campaigning, so they had to make those promises, so we'll give them time. But there are Kenyans who are of the opinion that they lied. And that is a reality that they have to deal with. There is no two way about it. We all know that it will take time. When they were campaigning, everyone knew that most of these promises were just promises to win the vote. They've won the vote. From where some of us sit, it doesn't matter how they got there. The question right now is, how are they solving the problem? And to what extent are they, raising the hopes of Kenyans to believe that things are gonna be fine? And we can only do that. We can only have that belief if we see a very strategic way of solving the problems that affect Kenyans today. And if you ask me, there is no strategic communication. There is no strategy that has been communicated to show that they have everything figured out. That is not there. When you talk about taxation, I look at what they're saying, it makes a lot of sense. But I ask myself, when you tax the people who are already in the tax bracket and increase that tax, you're just overburdening them, and they're likely to revolt. But the power that you are seeking was to build the economy, kutoka hapa chini, tulete hapa, alafu tuende juu. Bottoms up. How do we get these guys at the very bottom, the guys who want to contribute to the national cake and then enjoy the social securities that come with it, into the tax bracket? I think that conversation is what is lacking. I mean, we've seen this happen in so many countries where governments have instituted frameworks that have benefited people. One thing I've talked about is the 50 billion hustlers fund. The moment you want this 50 billion hustlers fund to go to people already in business, then you're not making much of a big difference from what we've been having. I mean, President Uhuru Kenyatta pumped a lot of money in SMEs and micro SMEs. Pumped a lot of money. The difference we want to see is, how do you ensure that to some extent you build businesses, not because they are going to return interest, but because they are going to contribute majorly into the economy by employing people and tapping on the resources in the local areas where they find themselves. And I think the Minister for Corporate Development has to start thinking. The impression we are getting from this government is that the President himself is doing so much, doing a lot of thinking, a lot of communicating, but now we have cabinet. Maybe there is hope. We need to see these guys now come up with out of this world ideas on how they will get Kenyans. I mean, where I come from, Nyikendo, people farm. They're small scale farmers, and in the evening they come with their farm produce to Suna East Migori town and they sell to people. What I want to see is, how do you scale these guys up? Because they are the mamambogas, and when you scale them up, how do they then organize around the 50 billion hustlers fund to contribute to the economy? That one we are not seeing.
Yes, and one of the things that we may have missed probably during the campaigns was the place of the working class Kenyan in this whole conversation. A lot has